Hey guys, and welcome back to the Blue Podcast Network. This is the Blue Podcast, the best show, I would say, potentially because I'm the host and Henry's not. So it's a good stuff. It's good stuff. But I don't know if you can see, there's a new face to my left, and then if we go to the wide angle, there's two more new faces. How you guys doing? We got Liam, Ubaid, and Matthew. How you guys doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah,
Good?
Yeah.
Good. So we're expanding the podcast, are we not?
Yeah.
First day today. How's it been?
Been good. Done
It's
a
been
few
fun.
shoots.
Good.
It's been really cool, I think, yeah.
Perfect. Well, today, unfortunately, we set this aside for a guest, but we've had to rearrange. So we thought, what better thing to do than basically get you guys to get to know our new hosts? And by doing that, basically, me and the boys, we got Jamie, Dan, and Lloyd behind the camera, are going to swap in and out and ask you guys some questions. You guys ready for that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start off nice and easy, I think, and keep it football based because we are generally a football podcast. And I really want to know what your guys' worst footballing takes are. As in, like, an opinion you have on football that you think some people might disagree with.
Jamie Vardy's in the top 10 strikers in the league still. That's my one.
Still,
And still. And I think I'd also argue that we've got a squad probably top 12, I'd say. That's
top
how
12.
biased I am, yeah.
Wow,
But
that's a biased opinion.
I think Vardy genuinely could be true. If you see the way he moves and the pace he's still got, I mean,
All right,
you look
so
at the
can
goal.
Can I just list off some strikers who I think might? Let's try and make 10, right? Haaland, yeah, Solanke.
I'm not sure about Solanke yet.
Jackson.
I don't agree with Jackson. Definitely not.
100%.
No.
100%. You're based a
He's
Chelsea
way
fan for
better.
context. Yeah, agree. I'm sure I could go for 10, but I don't want to eat into everyone's time. But
Just
nah.
you look at his goal against Palace, and you can see he's still got it.
He's still got it, but I still wouldn't put him top 10.
Yeah, I mean it is a biased opinion.
It's a hot take that lots of people may not agree with. So let us know as well if you agree with them in the comments. Who wants to go next? Ubaid or Liam?
Have you got one?
Arsenal are by far the biggest and best team in London. It's not. It's not a debate. It is not a debate. I don't understand how. Success-wise, recently we are clearly the best.
You've won like one FA Cup, bro.
I'm the only
yeah, but
neutral one there, aren't I?
successful-wise, last like 2-3 seasons, where's the debate?
You've won one more trophy than Chelsea in the last 3 years.
Yeah, but
and
like, position.
position doesn't matter if you
Yes,
ain't
it
winning
does.
anything.
Bro, if you're not first, you're last.
Pass on the microphone.
That's all I'm saying.
Dan's for context said that if you're not first, you're last. So
Let's qualify for the Champions League.
As a neutral, like non-London fan here, I'd probably argue that Chelsea are bigger.
yes, my
I
guy.
would. Historically and stuff.
Yeah.
And they've won more
We've won
recently.
2 Champions Leagues.
Where's your European Cup?
Ah.
But how? I'm basing it like recently. We are the biggest and best team in London.
Okay, but
Last few years, maybe. But
Last three to 4. No, you have won the Champions League.
You have won the
recently.
Champions
I'll
League.
take that.
Yes, he's cutting it off at 3 because obviously in 2021 we won the Champions League.
But
so
that's what I mean. Right now we are.
you're better,
better,
than
not-
us.
how you
Different-
won that Champions
different
League,
to
I would
biggest.
never know.
because we had a great defence.
Yeah, we managed to. What was it? Mendy won. But Mendy conceded the least amount of goals ever in the knockout stages.
Because
Wasn't it?
you had Kai Havertz.
No,
You have Kai Havertz now.
I know, he's great.
he's alright.
He's alright. Ubaid.
I'm gonna go with. It's unpopular now because he retired early, but Hazard is by far better than Mo Salah.
Oh, I like that.
After
like it.
after his goal against Tottenham, I can only agree.
Yeah, mate. Battle of the Bridge was unbelievable.
They should have had about 10 red cards.
I think that's my favourite game of football ever.
Oh yeah,
That
no, I
game
should have been at
was
that
so
game as
good.
well. But this is gonna show my age compared to you guys. I had my English literature GCSE the next day, and
Wow,
so
okay.
my dad wouldn't let me go. And then obviously I watched it on TV and was obviously still awake because I was buzzing.
I was
When he
in
got back.
year 6 at the time,
Oh
so
fucking hell, man! That makes me feel old. All right, next person in.
Alright. I've got just a pretty easy question, but if you could change or add any rule into the Premier League, what would it be and why?
I mean, I guess it's not really a rule, but I would say no VAR. I'd get rid of it because I don't think it works yet. I think it's a great idea and it's better than just relying on refs, but I think at the moment it's not done well enough. and until they can do it right, they've got to get rid of it.
What could they do to change it then?
They just need to be more accurate and make the right decisions. They need refs who I think are specialists in it, rather than trusting refs who've refed in the game to run it. I think they need people to be trained just to do VAR.
Okay, so you're saying the issue is more with the referees behind it than
Yes,
the actual
it's the
technology
application.
itself?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Ubaid, got anything?
Mine is pretty basic, but the offside rule they use in the not the rule, the technology, the
Yeah.
one they use in the Champions League.
Yep.
I think you had that.
principle.
Yeah.
Right. So that's is that where the advantage for the attacker is it?
Well, it's not even just that, but you know how they have it's like the technology where it's like an automated line.
Oh, okay, right.
Makes
so
things a lot easier instead of
Yeah.
drawing some random.
I was gonna say because you saw last year with Arsenal where they just didn't draw the right line. Was it against Brentford? I think.
Yeah, I believe.
Where they just didn't draw the right line and the goal was given off. Wasn't given off when it was. So, good point. I mean, what do you think?
With offside, I always thought it should be the back of the defender's back boot versus the back of the attacker's back boot is the most objectively fair thing you can measure. You can measure the back of the boot, and if you're faster than someone, it doesn't make you offside then, because you can just have your pace. It doesn't matter if your arm's in front of someone. It makes no sense. I've always thought it should be boot to boot.
That would make more sense because, as you said, if you're faster than someone, doesn't mean you're offside. It just means you're more, either physically faster or you're prepared. Yeah,
And
you could also just be like taller than someone, longer leg, you're ahead.
What
Doesn't
about
make
their head
sense.
though? What if they score from a header and their head's miles ahead of the attacker because it's like a diving header?
It doesn't
That's,
matter.
that's the only thing.
But
I'd
you're
say.
jumping forward though. That's
Yeah.
the thing. You're jumping forward, so you can be in an onside position, jump ahead of someone.
It's
and
like
still
this
end
is
up
gonna be
ahead
a
of
weird
them.
example. You know, like long jump. If you jump with your head first, they only measure the boot. Doesn't matter.
True, yeah, but I think it should. I agree that they need to change it, but I think it should be any part of the body you can score with, like your head, your legs. I don't know where else really,
I
but
feel like the issue for me is like giving someone of their arm being offside, where you can't actually score with that part of the. You can't score with your arm. If the whole point of football is you can't, why would you give it?
They
never Off.
give the arm offside. They give the shoulder, which is part of the torso, and they consider that offside. But they never give it from the actual arm.
Right.
It's from the shoulder.
Okay, so what Dan said is
Yeah.
they never give it from the arm. They give it from the shoulder.
Wherever they say
But that's the thing, right? So the issue with that is where is the cutoff?
Exactly.
Is it going to be above the elbow or below the shoulder? Yeah, because you could score with this part where it comes off you, where you can't do anything, or you could like just and Balotelli, and so you're saying it's the sleeve, but it depends because sometimes your sleeve could be up here and it could be down here, so it's very like wishy-washy with that.
It would also end. You know when someone's like pinky toes offside, you don't have to draw a line because it's like okay, it's not the back of the boot. And, like it should be the back foot, both players back of the boot. That's where you draw the line because you can easily see that. Like if someone's got a size 12 shoe and it makes them offside, it's stupid.
It's a good point. There's been a couple of those. I think Hazard was offside for like literally just like the tightest fraction. I think the United one against Arsenal as well was literally just a fraction of like the boot. That makes sense.
I shouldn't need to get a protractor out to measure offside. Like it makes no sense.
Honestly, yeah. Or we get better technology.
the thing about that as well that annoys me is where they have the cameras, because I don't get how it's so hard to have a camera that's just straight on the pitch rather than one that's sort of like a diagonal view. Like why are they not having a camera that's going straight down the pitch, following the attacker like that? Because then instantly you can see down the line, you know where to draw the lines. Whereas when they have one like our one at Palace this season, they didn't know where to draw the lines because the camera's diagonal. It's not straight on at the pitch.
Whack a steady cam on the linesman's head.
At this point,
Not a bad idea.
Honestly, it probably could be better. We got anything any others?
Ban Anthony Taylor. Get rid of him. He has to go.
Something we could probably all get behind at this point. But no, cool.
That's nice being back in the chair, isn't it? It's all right, not too bad. I want to know who you guys think is the most overrated Premier League player right now.
Right now, I've got one, but it's not going to make me popular. I think Saka's overrated.
Saka.
I don't think he's a bad player at all. Like, obviously, he's a great player, but I think the fact that people will say he's the best right winger in the world at the moment, I wouldn't agree with.
I think he's the best right winger in the league.
Better than
Definitely.
Mo.
I think Palmer's better than him.
No.
I know he's not a right winger technically, but I think Palmer's better than
So
him.
he's not in the debate then.
I don't know. I don't think he's the best in the world, and I've heard a lot of people saying that recently.
I'm gonna be real. The one thing that annoys me about Saka is he doesn't cross the ball often enough. Like he always cuts on the inside. It does annoy me, but I don't think. I don't know. He gets praise because you know you kind of seen him from young, and he comes from the Arsenal academy. So Arsenal fans are like he's the best thing since sliced bread. But like in the world, I don't think so. There are definitely better players. But in the Premier League, I can back him as the best.
It's just I look at it and he scored 2 goals against. No, sorry, he got 2 assists against us this season, but both of them like I think a lot of players could have done what he did, and I think he gets a lot of praise for assists and goals where he doesn't actually have to do much work. I think he's a great player, and
You can say the same about Haaland's goals though.
yeah, I think I also agree though that Haaland is not overrated, but he's not as good as people seem to think he is.
The thing about Haaland, like this is a completely different debate now. Is like he like gets a lot of goals gifted to him, but if needed to, he can just run down the line. He has the pace fully.
Yeah, and I think Saka's a great player, but I don't put him in that. Well, he's world class, but I wouldn't put him in the legendary bracket that some people have started to put him in
Not yet.
already. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe not yet, but I don't think he's there now because it was right now. And I think people are overrating him now.
I think
Right.
he's like an Arsenal legend, but he wouldn't be a Premier League legend just yet.
Was an Arsenal legend already?
Yeah, definitely.
See, that's where I disagree.
Wow.
I think he'd be an Arsenal legend.
This is why Chelsea are bigger, because he would not be a Chelsea legend.
Right. So, Ubaid, who's your most overrated?
I'm gonna go with. It was gonna be unpopular, but Son,
Son.
because this man can get away with doing nothing for months, and people still say like he's underrated somehow. And now I don't think he's that good off the left.
Right.
And they bought Solanke in, so I don't get how you're gonna play both of them.
No.
At the moment, I agree with Son. Yeah, I don't think he's been good recently.
He's a good player, but he's a purple patch merchant, and when he's not doing nothing, no one says anything because he's likable. That's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you?
I don't know. At the moment, I feel like Van Dijk's kind of he's taken a bit of a slide at the moment.
Ooh.
Like he's had legendary seasons.
That's
Don't
the
get
worst.
me
That's
wrong.
the worst out of the lot, guys.
Don't get me wrong. No, but he has had legendary seasons. Right now, he's kind of like above average.
No.
He's a bit above that. But
I still have him as best centre back in the league.
Nah.
I still
I
think he
think
is.
I'd argue Saliba is better at the moment.
I don't. I think if you would put if I'd have one person in my team, I'm having Van Dijk.
I feel like attackers, like if they see Van Dijk, they're not like as worried anymore. Like
no, but I guess not. But then if you think of his peak was that good.
and I think he's still living off that.
No, I don't think to an extent. He's a world class centre back. He is. He's world class.
You can still be world class and overrated.
Yeah, but how much to an extent? So do you think he's that much overrated then? So how would you rate it on a scale of like slightly or really overrated?
It's the same with me with Saka though. He's only like 2 out of 10 overrated, but
Yeah. No, I guess. I mean, I don't agree, but I mean, all in all, I'd go for the Son shout. I think the Son shout's probably the best one.
I think you could also add all of United squad, the whole squad.
Their whole transfer
it's not very
business.
good though.
100%. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Dan, you want to come and take it?
You right, boys? Yeah, I've got a non-football related one. Something simple. Just tell me about the weirdest or most interesting experience you've had outside of the UK, like on holiday. If you can't think of one, tell me what you think the best holiday destination is that you want to go to right now and why.
The best thing I can think of is I was in Cyprus in the summer, and there was an earthquake, and I had no clue what was going on. It was 4.9 magnitude. It's not the biggest, but it was big enough that you could feel it, and yeah, it was quite scary because the hotel we were staying in, the door wasn't that secure, so we first thought that someone was trying to break into the room, and then the whole room started shaking, and
Oh shit.
neither me or my girlfriend knew what was going on, so it was quite scary. But all the locals are doing everything as usual.
How
but
long did it last?
I think it was about 20 seconds. It was
Were you like
it was-
scared or like?
I was petrified. I was like 2 o'clock at night, and everything started shaking. I didn't know what was going on, but
Jeez.
yeah, the locals were fine. And as soon as we
Yeah.
saw the locals were fine, we're like, there's no reason to panic. It's,
Yeah.
it's clearly fine.
So all in all, it was a good trip though. Otherwise.
Yeah, Paphos is a great place
Yeah.
to go. I've been there 3 times now. It's
Nice.
yeah, it's really good.
Cool. Goodbye.
I'll be honest, I don't really have many weird experiences, but I'll just go because I've only been abroad twice.
Mhm.
I'd say I went to Qatar for the World Cup,
Right, yeah.
and I was on the train, their metro or whatever, and there was like one American, and the rest were Welsh. They just started bullying him. Like,
The American got bullied.
he got bullied by all the Welsh fans. And then in the stadium after, I saw those exact same people on the big screen, just chanting.
Jeez.
And it was like there was one American, he was with a camera, just recording everything, and they were just saying some next things in Welsh, and just laughing at him, asking for a
This poor
chant.
American guy gone to Qatar just to get bullied
Yep.
on the beach.
There was no one else there.
Jeez. Unlucky to be American. Liam?
So this shows like how like standard our weather is in the UK. So for my 10th birthday, I went to Reunion, which is off the coast of Africa. It's next to Mauritius, and there was like a tropical storm, and the rain was hot. It was really weird. The rain was just warm,
Yeah.
falling down, and I'm like, what on earth is going on here? Because like, first off, I couldn't really go outside because trees getting taken out and shit
Yeah.
like that. So it wasn't really ideal. But like, I got outside for a bit, and I just feel like hot rain. I'm like, damn, the shower's got outside. I've just never seen anything like
Did you say the
it.
shower was outside?
It must have been. I've never seen warm rain in my life.
Welcome to the tropics, mate. Well, you're not here now, unfortunately, but
I wish I was.
all right. You have anyone else got a question now?
My next question is, so you guys obviously have met us today for the first time. You guys had a good time? I think I asked you that before,
Yeah.
to be fair. But I think probably it's been a few hours now. You probably got to know us a little bit better. So I wanted to know who you guys think has the worst footballing opinions out of who have you met today? You've met me, Henry, Dan, Lloyd, and Jamie.
So no one answered.
And also, and why?
Yeah, well, I think I'm gonna go off what we've been told, which is Henry. That's what I've been told. And
No, I want to go through your opinion, not what you've been told.
I've not heard many opinions so far, so I don't really know. But yeah, I mean, anyone who supports United, most of them don't really have much football knowledge. So
Fair enough. All right, Ubaid.
Again, I don't have a lot. Well, I was on the show and it was Barclays men. So you'd expect a player who played in the Barclays era. And Henry named Pascal Gross, who plays for Brighton, who have never played in the Barclays era.
Yep.
So I can only go off what I've seen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Going for a hat trick here, mate. Well, to build off that point, he tried to redeem himself like, if he played a year early, I don't know who he says, like, if he played a year earlier, you'd be like a great Barclays man. And it's not how it works. Also, yeah, United fan. It's just awful, isn't it? Like,
Sorry, bro.
he does earn some respect for Ipswich though, because
Yeah.
I like Ipswich. They're a good team.
Well, and was it and Dortmund? Yours is Palace,
Ipswich.
Fulham. It's all of those. Yeah.
it'd be nice if he picked a good team for once.
All those teams are not one good one.
Who's next?
So I was gonna say, if football, just didn't exist, if you had to kind of choose a sport that would say is your next preference, or if it's a club or anything, what would you choose, and why?
For me, it would be tennis or Formula One, either one, because I've watched both. Formula One's probably a bit more special to me because I've watched that since I was probably about 5. As soon as I knew what it was, that's as long as I can remember watching it. And I've sort of fallen out of love with it recently a bit more because I've not had as much time to watch it for 2 hours long and stuff. But it's a great sport still. I've picked it up more this season because it's got a bit better as well after 2 years of just max domination.
That's what I was gonna say.
I think tennis as well. I love tennis. I've been to the US Open. I've been to Wimbledon. It's such a great sport, and I think watching it live, it's so different to watching it on the TV. I think it's so much easier to get involved because going to a football stadium and hearing so much noise, and then going to a tennis ground and hearing like silence between points, it's incredible. Like in a way, the atmosphere just there's so many people there and they're all silent.
Yeah. So you said you got into Formula One around 5. What got you into it? Was it like family watching it, or
Yeah.
you just wanting to watch it?
My dad always watched it since he was young, so I watched it with him, and basically it just became a thing. We'd watch every race. I mean, I even woke up, I think, for Australia most years at 6 a.m. in the morning. So
Do you have a favourite team or?
it's got to be McLaren, really. I like McLaren. They're probably the most local one to where I live, and yeah, I've just always liked them. I love the Vodafone era McLaren as well. Brilliant liveries.
Easy. Wade?
I'd say basketball. I used to follow it, but then during lockdown we had nothing to do, so I got really into it. I still watch it now. It's kind of annoying because you have to stay up till like 3 a.m. But it's really exciting. It's fast paced, similar to football, but much more fast paced. The only problem is the adverts because in America.
I was going to say. And team?
I have never followed a particular team. I follow like my favourite players, but
Yeah, fair enough. I think you make a good point actually about like advertisement in terms of you can watch a football match and there's pre-game, half-time and post-game. America, it's just pretty much every time the ball goes out, they'll stop ad break, ads just continuously. I think there's a massive effect on watching the sport, no?
yeah, I mean, I think every time there's a timeout and they have like 10 each, it takes like 3 hours to sit down and watch the entire thing.
I think that's the issue with American football. People have the same thing where it just so like stop-start.
Yeah.
Especially in person, it's stop-start. Imagine on TV as well, where you get consistent ad breaks. What about you?
Well, I'd say football's actually my second or third sport even. I box, so that's my main sport. Fighting event of the night. Outcast Boxing YouTube channel, watch it. Yeah, also MMA. I don't know, I just feel like combat sports is like the purest, most historic form of sport. You know, it's something that's always happened. You don't need equipment for it really. Also, I think it's just like it's beautiful to watch. Like as much as it's like people are like, oh, it's barbaric, it's violent. It's like chess. Like it's generally closer to chess than it is to a street fight. There's so much strategy to it, and like the amount of dedication and respect you have to put into it is insane. But also, it's fun to watch people get fucked up. Right? Like,
Good point. So what got you into it?
So
you say you box, right?
yeah.
So what got you into that?
So I started by just playing UFC 2 in 2016. I don't know how. I think I was like 12. Then I played UFC 3. Then, funnily enough, it was 2018. KSI boxed Joe Weller. I watched that. I'm like, oh, this is actually like really entertaining to watch. So I started watching like actual boxing. Then after lockdown, I started boxing. Then yeah, from that I just started training. Then this year I've had 3 fights, having a 4th, and yeah, it's really fun. Love it.
Amazing. Thank you guys.
Right, so this is a football podcast. What's the best ever football game you've watched live?
That's tough. I mean, if you're talking about the best quality game, like a game that everyone would know,
Right.
it's got to be Tottenham 3, Leicester 2 when they scored twice in the 95th and 97th.
Oh, right, yeah.
I was there, sadly. I sat right next to the Tottenham fans as well, so we've been giving it large all game, and yeah, and it wasn't fun at the end. I didn't leave early. I nearly did after the first one in, but I stuck it out. And as soon as I saw the ball hit the net the third time, I was gone then. But as from an actual standpoint of watching a football game, it was an impressive game. But for a Leicester fan point of view, probably last season, Leicester 5, Southampton 0.
Oh, wow, what a game.
We'd been struggling as well in that period. We'd not won many games in that bit, and we looked at that game thinking, if we lose this, we might bottle the league, we might not go up, and then we win at 5-0, statement win, with Fatawi also scoring a hat-trick.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that was pretty special for a fan point of view.
Yeah, I can imagine that's such a, like... It is such an important game at the time as well, of course, under Maresca, who's now at Chelsea.
Sadly.
Yeah. But how about you, Abade?
I'd say the World Cup. I saw France and Australia. That was probably the most exciting of ones I watched. But also, I can't remember what it's called. Italy and Argentina played each other. It was like a community shield type of thing.
Oh, Finalissima.
That's it. So, and Messi was playing, and he played really well. And of course, he's one of the best players ever. So it's great to watch.
Where would you rank Messi on that list?
Second after Cole Palmer.
Good answer. How about you, Loom?
So this is not in the stadium, but my family's part French.
Right.
But even though they lost the World Cup final 2022, what a game! What a game! Like it's the best advertisement for football you can get is that game.
Yeah.
What 3-3 Mbappe hat trick goes to penalties. It is just pure cinema. That game. It is beautiful. Like you have everything in that game. You got drama. You got VAR.
Yeah, of course.
Mbappe scoring a hat trick. Messi gets his first World Cup. There's so many storylines going into it. It was just like the best advertisement for football you can get, really.
Yeah. And it was a really good game of football as well. It wasn't bad, was it? Could you imagine scoring a hat trick in the World Cup final and losing?
Must be.
Imagine
the
how
worst
that would
feeling in
feel.
the world.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I
Who's
think
next?
it would have been worse if he didn't already have a World Cup though.
Yes. Yeah.
Because like, imagine if he never won.
Yeah.
If that was Harry Kane,
Ooh.
Could you imagine?
That's
That's
Harry Kane would score a hat trick.
I was
he
gonna
would,
say.
and we'd
in
lose.
a World Cup final.
Has he even scored a goal in a final, Kane?
Probably not.
He does go missing in big games, doesn't he? Which is a shame considering like England, you want England to do well, and they've not done well.
If you're talking about overrated player list, I'd say he's on there for me.
Really?
Not massively. He's up there with the best strikers in Premier League history. But Spurs fans will have you believe he's the best one, and he's
Yeah.
definitely not.
In terms of like Kane in a final, it's like having Andy Carroll up top, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Doesn't do anything.
He's probably a bit better though.
Yeah.
You can at least win a header. if
Yeah,
you
that's
need it.
true. Yeah. Yeah.
He almost scored him one, to be fair. Andy
Yeah.
Carroll.
The thing about Kane that annoys me, especially for England, you watch him and he's like doing like the midfielder's job half the time. Like,
Yes,
he doesn't run up
yeah.
enough. It really
I'd
pisses
play
me off.
Watkins in our next major tournament. Unless something changes, I'd want Watkins to start.
Yeah.
I agree.
He did look really good, didn't he? Coming off the bench, got that goal.
I think he's a more rounded player as well.
All right. One last question. I'm gonna stick to the Blue Podcast people here. So I just want to know, who do you think has the best trim between everyone? You can't say yourself. There's Henry's if you want to take a look. Yeah.
Calling that a trim would be interesting. Put the cap back on, mate.
Yeah. If you don't know, Henry's back in the back. He's taking his hat off and
Nah.
he's been asked to put it back on. Yeah. So who do you think has the best trim? And why? Everyone's just looking around.
Sorting it out.
Go on, you go first this time.
It's out of you two.
Oh, yeah, take it. Yeah, so our context, me and Tom are the two people.
Yeah,
Said.
very similar. Very similar.
Keep it very similar. Your side profile.
Side profile. I think it's got a bit more like a more wave in it.
Yeah,
Bit of colour.
okay.
It's a bit nicer.
Yes. Okay. Ubaid.
Very close second.
I would.
Is it always between
Is it always between us two?
Yeah.
What about?
No, I disagree.
Jamie's got great hair.
My answer's Jamie. Yeah.
Yeah, sick. There you go.
To have hair like that, that is impressive.
There you go.
Wait here. Let's see the camera shot.
Get
We
low.
work. Yeah, there we go.
It takes a lot of effort to get hair like that. That is,
Takes a lot of
I think,
effort.
awesome.
do anything. I don't do anything, to be fair.
All right. I'll let you guys
And yeah, Ubaid, you were saying.
I think it's one of you two because of the fresh fades, but I'll go with Dan.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing. Well done. Yeah, that's all. Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is all we have for you today. Like, subscribe, comment, check out all our socials, and yeah, we'll see you guys next time.